Hey, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Your support really helps with the channel. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. Alrighty, here we are, Himmelsdorf. Tier 10 battle in my Tier 9 German Heavy VK 4502 Bravo. Great tank, lots of armor in the front. Really like this tank as a heavy. We are on, as I said, Himmelsdorf, and we are on the encounter version of Himmelsdorf. I've been on a bit of a tear lately about critical terrain. Himmelsdorf is another map, especially the encounter version, where there is a very specific piece of critical terrain that you must win. Alright, you don't always have to win it, but nearly every time, the team that wins the hill wins the game. Alright, in encounter, because the cap timer is so slow, you have plenty of time to get up here, wreck whatever heavies they send or forces they send up here, and get down and reset the cap. In addition, there will always be some clown who wants to go down to the cap. And there goes the T-57. Thanks, T-57. Tier 10, top guy going down to the cap. Scouts, I'm fine with. A medium or two, yep, keep an eye on those guys. Let us know what's going on, especially if they're sending a big force through Tank Alley and trying to come up behind us. But that T-57, yow. And look at this WZ-120. I don't know what his plan is other than die. So I come across here, and we'll shoot him. One thing you'll note, as soon as I shoot him once and he's on 5%, I don't stop to aim in on him. I have a long time to reload. I keep on trucking. And I'm just going to go ahead and come right around, because you know what? There are so many guns up here, somebody's probably going to kill him well before I can reload. If he made the circle and came around and I reloaded, I'd shoot. But I'm not going to stop and goof around trying to shoot a 5% guy when I know there's about 6, 7 other guns here. So you'll note that the way I came up top is I came around through that low spot and I did not come right up and over. Coming right up and over, one of the problems with this tank is you don't have the depression to shoot, and you're going to expose that lower hole, especially flat plating it as you come up and over a hill. So I'm going to avoid taking a shot I don't need to take. Plus the turret's not especially strong on this, which would have been the first thing they see. And I'm going to then move in here. So the E-75 just fired. So this is all timing. Come around there. You do have to be careful with the 4502 because it is so long and your turret's in the back. I have to expose quite a bit of the front, and you'll end up taking a lot of tracking shots into that front sprocket if you're not careful. So I made sure just to poke out just enough, and I'm able to bounce that shot. The E-75 is moving, so his dispersion is going to be low. Not quite reloaded. Uh-oh. Well, artillery hit me. That is a bummer about that spot right there. Artillery sitting in this corner at A0 can hit it. It's a very flat arc, and it's very easy for them to miss because they're very much lower than where you are here up on the hill. Still, it is exposed to artillery. So I've got the gold that I carry right now. Come around here, shoot into the ground. Wasn't interested in being out there very long with the JPZ. Long reload heavies, you do want to protect yourself while you're waiting, but now that JPZ is moving, so I should be able to get in there and take a shot, back up, put a shot into him. And now I'm going to try to get out of the way of the Maus. So I'm going to try to work around the outside of the Maus. The Maus is going to take a lot of hits, be a big beefcake right there. JPZ fired again, so just come in here. We'll finish that guy off. And now I'll try to get out of the way of the Maus and work between him and the 110E3. 110E3 fired, the Maus is going in, he gets hit by our own guy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up and use that dead tank right there, the T-49, as armor. So 4 guys, that's fine. A couple of them have fired. I'll move in, take a shot on the softest one, the Leopard, and come on in here and tuck up into this T-49. So I am not a very nice target right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and back up, take another shot there, tuck in the front. And it really just kind of dissuades them from attacking me when it's so difficult to hit. Now it's time to just come around these guys. I'm trying to get into that E-75's rear, but I can't. Shoot into his front plate. It is angled, so I was going to have a hard time with the regular AP putting a shot in there, and now I'm going to go by this Maus. Now, I go by the Maus and I start working on these lighter tanks back here. Ideally, I would save the IS-4, which I don't think I end up doing. He's tracked and getting hit from down below. But the Maus is being surrounded by the rest of them up there, so I'm going to go ahead and chase down these two. I don't want these two shooting us from behind while we're trying to take on the Maus. Now we are taking shots from down below, so that is a danger of coming around the bottom of this. You can see these guys camping down there. Well, not camping, but they're sitting down there. You got the VK, the 251, the RU, and actually their E50 is down there as well. So what I'm doing is I'm using this piece of castle to my right to sort of protect myself. And now I'm just going to go ahead and push forward because I want to go ahead and get rid of this E75. And I end up taking some shots. Fortunately, I bounced the Mao's turret right there. That's too bad. And I end up eating some shots, but I've got to get up and over and take out this E75. And it looks like the E50 is actually using that faster firing small gun. That's a bad shot. Kind of rushed it right there. He's trying to get into my hatch as well. As he backs up, then I'm going to back up here and I'm just going to put it right through that weaker armor right above the track right there. Plus I was looked down. I'm just going to flat plate that some. It looks like one of their already just took a shot at me. Thank goodness he missed because that was a GWE 100. And we have cleaned up the top of the hill. So we've got a 110E3, myself, against what's down there. I've got an object still alive and a scout. So I'm just going to head on down, and what I will do here is chipmunk speed this. No shot there as I look. And you'll note that the 110E3 sits up on the hill. So let's talk about this for a minute. I noted that the key terrain was the hill. It had to be taken. I also noted that it takes a very long time to cap out this cap, so you do have time, even in a slower tank like mine, to get down there. But this is a dangerous part of this game where if too many of the guys that won sit up here camping trying to take sniper shots, you can be in big trouble. So I am going to go downhill and look to go to the critical part of the battle, which is down by the cap, because they are attempting to cap us out now. Chipmunk speed all the way in, a couple guys dying right and left here, and now they've got two. So they have a VK just like me, and an Arty, and the Arty's problematic because it is the autoloader. So the last thing I want to do is get out in the open tracked and crushed by their Arty. This guy's driving around sideways, unknown why. A little bit of a rush shot I didn't really need, but I was trying to not get hit by the artillery. And so I'm going to head over here and get behind these buildings because he's last seen back in this corner. So if I poke around again, I may get slapped by him. And again, if he's got all four and he tracks me, that could be a bummer, although right now I do still have my kit, so that is helpful. 4502 for some reason is pointing right at the 1390. This guy doesn't play very well. 3,000 battles, so he's struggling a little bit. Gets popped in the back. There's the Arty. So again, I'm thinking, man, do I really want to poke around and let him hit me right in the side? Okay, this guy's just going to avail himself of my gun. Backing up for some reason, not front armor, and oh, the 110 kills him from the hill. And now I've got to figure out how to get this Arty. I'm not that worried about it, but again, he's probably aimed in right there, more than likely. He killed the 1390. I thought about it for a moment and said, no, let's go back around this way. I have been dark for a while, so that way at least he doesn't really know which way I'm coming from. He is relatively fast, so he could have bugged out. I'll just come around here and see what I can do. I'm going to swing a little wide so that when I come around I can at least put the front of the tank to him, more or less. So it's not just my front end coming through. Ah, there he is. Excellent. So he's going to poke, or not poke, but get into that little notch right there. Now this is interesting because what happens here, I'm waiting on a reload. He's going to come around here and aim right through that and just blap me. Right, right through the train. RNG, man. RNG. But there you go, 4,463. I take the key terrain up on the hill. Help take the key terrain up on the hill with my team. And of course you got plenty of time to come back around here. Some bad play by that last 4502. That really hurt his team. But new guy, so he wasn't really having much of a clue of what to do. And that is a good example of why on some maps key terrain is so important. Ace Tanker in the 4502. If you like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe. Otherwise, we will see you.